Okay. Welcome to North Country Commerce, a business and community service of the Plattsburgh North Country Chamber of Commerce. I'm Gary Douglas, president of the Chamber, and as hopefully you all know, because I'm sure you tune in every single week, we try to bring you different programs every couple of weeks on things that are happening in the business community here in the North Country, things that are happening in terms of job creation, services that are available to business out there in the North Country. And that's what this segment is about. It's really a new service, a new program of services that's underway, that's being developed by a brand new organization here in the North Country of New York, the North Country World Trade Council. And we have with us three of the officers of this fledgling group. Becky Hughes from A.N. Deringer, who's president. Welcome, Becky.
Thank you.
And next, Mark Lizwinski. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Pleasure
I'm
to
practicing
be here.
that. Mark is with the Technical Assistance Center at SUNY Plattsburgh and a member of the board of the council. And Joanne Reed from Lake Placid, JRS Associates, who is vice president for programs for the World Trade Council. Welcome.
Thank you.
There are a number of World Trade Councils. They're all over the country, but there have for some years been a number of these organizations called World Trade Councils around New York. But there wasn't one here in the North Country region of New York. And the Technical Assistance Center at SUNY took a particular lead in kind of getting the notion out there that maybe there should be one, and maybe that forming one up here would be a way to bring some new services and opportunities to business. So I'm going to call on Merrick to kind of maybe give us a little perspective as to why the Technical Assistance Center saw this as an opportunity and how it kind of gelled through your office.
Okay. In 1995, Technical Assistance Center conducted a survey of local businesses, primarily manufacturing facilities in the North Country, trying to ask them what they think about formation of a World Trade Council in the North Country. The response was positive. Manufacturing facilities were interested in formation of such a World Trade Council in the North Country, and that was how everything started. The definition of the World Trade Council could be that this is an organization, a voluntary association of people and businesses involved in exporting or interested in starting exporting activities. So starting in '95 with the survey and then following up with several meetings of interested parties, we came up in December with a final decision of forming North Country World Trade Council. And at this point, we are working on programming issues and membership issues. Pretty soon, we will have several meetings. The next one is planned for September, and the following month we'll plan another one. That will probably take another month to plan, and we'll be ready probably with our program sometimes towards the end of the year.
So what that survey really told you was that there really is a need here in the North Country for some more specific kinds of support services to help companies and businesses out there do exporting than already exists here.
Exactly. Different organizations provided different activities in terms of educating about exporting. However, there was no one comprehensive effort from one specific organization to do one program which would encompass all kinds of educational activities regarding exporting and education about exporting. So we think that North Country World Trade Council could take such a lead, could coordinate those activities or replace existing activities which were provided by different organizations.
Mm-hmm. Now, Becky, as president, you could describe for folks a little bit how the World Trade Council is set up.
The World Trade Council is set up. We have formed bylaws that we've adapted through looking at other bylaws from similar organizations, World Trade Councils, throughout the regions. We have a panel of executive members and a panel of board members and ex officio officers that represent us. The bylaws are basically an outline of what the World Trade Council is, what our goals are, and our terms within the organization.
And what really, in a nutshell, is its purpose, as you see it?
The purpose of the World Trade Council is to educate and facilitate the North Country for networking services on export and international trade. There's a lot of people that we found from the survey that are interested in exporting, but do not have the direction or the networking capabilities to find the know-how to export and get their companies started into another area. I think the World Trade Council is going to facilitate the needs of the North Country and also bring more jobs and business into the North Country for exporting purposes.
That's really to help promote, to help encourage perhaps small businesses out there that aren't into exporting to learn about it and not be afraid of it, and to figure out how to get into it to expand their business, but also to help maybe the more experienced people also to meet each other and do even more.
Exactly.
And it's not just big companies, is it? I mean,
No, it's
folks
not.
think exporting, they think
Yeah.
big companies.
No, we have several companies that are members of the North Country World Trade Council that have 5 employees that have ventured in the exporting, starting from just a question of what would it take to export, and now they are facilitating several exports into several areas throughout the world, not just focusing on Canada, but on the European realm and the Far East realm too.
Even home-based kinds of businesses out there who may be making Adirondack themed products or craft products or things of that sort, particularly in this region. There are already a number of them out there that, on a small scale but significant for them, are doing some exporting. And in some cases, sometimes those little ventures turn into bigger ventures if they get some help.
Yes, they do. We've definitely seen it.
There is I know we've been looking at the World Trade Council in the Capital Region, down in the Capital District area, as in part kind of a model. It's one that's been up for several years. And what are some of the kinds of things they do that you think we might eventually be doing up here?
The Capital District utilizes a lot of programs on an educational basis. Joanne is the vice president of the programs, and you can really get into great detail on our comparisons between
Yeah, the Capital Region's done a great job. They have a thriving World Trade Council. It's very active, and it's a lot of networking appears to happen amongst the businesses in the Capital Region, and even in the outlying areas. There's a success story from the Capital Region of a real company that's in the Helderberg Mountains, which are south of Albany, and they're in the middle of nowhere, rural little firm, and with help from the Capital Region World Trade Council, they are now exporting. They're one of the largest exporters of reels that hoses go on in the world. So that's a small company that became a major success story through the Capital Region World Trade Council. But some of the programs that they are doing that we've investigated and appeal to us are, they do morning quick seminars from 7:30 to 9 o'clock, 8:30 or 9 o'clock, where they bring in educational presenters, and a business person can drop in, have breakfast, and educate themselves and raise their consciousness, and then go put in a full day of work. They have longer seminar sessions that happen maybe midday through 3 o'clock, where they're getting into some nitty-gritty how-to sort of things. And then they have evening meetings. Most of the time, their membership meetings occur in the evening with a speaker, an educational session, but a lighter educational session in the evening with maybe networking and cocktails surrounding that. So we hope to duplicate some of their efforts. They have a number of years' experience, and they're doing a great job, but we can only hope to have the success they're having.
Now, as Mark mentioned, we are planning a program in September, and while We just had a meeting this morning before taping this, so we can't tell you the date in specifics. So we can tell you in general what type of program is going to be coming up in September, and then you kind of know that's coming up, and you'll, if you know it's something you're going to want to know more about, you're going to know enough to call us and make sure that you're on our list so you can find out more about it. But give folks a preview of what we're planning to do in September generally.
Sure. We hope in mid-September to have a program, and this is tentatively titled International Marketing on a Shoestring. So we're already appealing to the smaller sort of business who doesn't have a multi-million-dollar budget for marketing, let alone international marketing. And this should be mid-September at the peak of foliage season, we hope, in tentatively scheduled for Lake Placid. And it would be a luncheon, 11:30ish till about 2:30. We'll have a number of speakers. Hopefully we'll have representatives from our government agencies who many people don't realize the support that is available from the state and federal government. So we hope to have some representatives come and tell us exactly what our government can do for us. We hope to have some speakers from companies who are currently doing exporting, both large and small, and they can tell us some of their horror stories and success stories. And we'll have a little bit of a nitty-gritty sort of look, hopefully, from a marketing expert in international marketing. So it's our kickoff meeting with education, and we hope to have as much participation from the North Country as possible. So please do give Gary's office a call, or even the Technical Assistance Center a call if you're not on our list and you'd like to become a member. We certainly hope to have as many people from the area as possible.
A good time to bring that up too. If anybody out there's already thinking, gee, this is a group I want to find out how to be a member of this.
Yeah.
Real easy. You can't beat the price.
That's right. That's right.
It's presently free. That may not always be the case in the future, but right now you get on the ground floor and take advantage of something free. You just need to let us know that you're interested, that you want to be a member, so that you get on the mailing list, so that when we do these programs and send things out in the future, that you'll be on that list and know about them. So if it's of any interest to you at all, be sure and call one of us. You can call right here at the Chamber in Plattsburgh, 563-1000. Tell them, I want to be on the World Trade Council list, and we'll make sure you get on there. Or Mark, give them your phone number. They can call your office at SUNY.
You can call 564-2214, or you can fax us at 564-3220 to the Technical Assistance Center, and we will take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Operators are standing by.
That's right.
Please sign up.
And you get the Jinsu steak knives, too, if you call in the next half hour.
That's right.
One of the most valuable things, too, about programs such as the workshop that you just heard about, and other workshops that we'll be doing in the future. Yeah, I know we always hear from about chamber programs, whatever the topic may be, is the opportunity to network.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's key.
There's first of all, there's the topic, and you might have a specific interest in that topic, and you get some value out of it. But there's meeting all of the other attendees that'll be there and making those contacts.
And I think part of it is going to be sitting next to someone at lunch, and they say, "Oh, yes, we've been exporting," and you're possibly a business who said, "Geez, I've always wanted to sell my widget in Italy, but I didn't know if I could do it." And then you find someone next to you who's doing that, and the fear is gone, and then you start talking, and that whole networking scene is, I think, key to this effort. I mean, the speakers we hope will be valuable and offer information, but getting to know other businesses and what they're doing is certainly, I say, the priority.
And getting to that point, because unless you happen to be in precisely the same business, putting out the same products that you're a direct competitor, and that's not likely very often to be the case. You're going to be meeting businesses from totally different businesses, so you don't have any competition with them. So generally, they'll be happy to share information with you, and you get on a basis with them. You have a problem or a question, you can just somebody who'll pick up the phone and call Joe at ABC Company, because I met that person at lunch, and I'll ask them something.
One thing that I think is really, it's kind of opportune that we're starting our World Trade Council now, because I don't know if we all read the papers. I think the world is getting so much smaller, and whether it's the European community that's being developed, or the internet that's doing it, or just the way media allows us to find out what's going on in the world. I know that it comes home to me every day when at my business, when I'm talking to someone in Italy without even thinking twice about picking up the phone or writing an email. So I think that we may be a little bit behind in developing our World Trade Council, but I think it's happening at a perfect time because hopefully our potential members are seeing that the world is getting smaller, and to do business abroad is really not that big a deal. It's not scary.
Well, I've always had a theory, and I mentioned this program before. I find the North Country business community is usually on most things just about 2 years behind the leading edge on things. And it usually is just about the time period that they're behind, whether it's with the web or whatever kind of new things come along. And actually, I have a sense that very often that's probably just about right for us, because sometimes you don't want to be the ones first in.
Oh, no.
Because they're the ones that bore all the costs and made all the mistakes and taught all the lessons. But you don't want to be so far behind that you're out of the competition. And usually that 1 to 2 years behind is just about right. You got time to still get in before it's too late, but you also have time to learn those lessons. And I think this whole realm of exporting and the web and all that too, I think it's just about where we are. And just having a World Trade Council. Once again, there's something else we're kind of behind the curve. Others have done it, but we'll learn from what they did, and hopefully have an even better one at the start, because we can copy. Copying is great.
We learn from mistakes.
That's right, and from what was done well. Mark, let me give you a chance here too, because the Technical Assistance Center, we always like to kind of reveal sources of information and assistance out there for business in the North Country. And the Technical Assistance Center at SUNY is a wonderful source of all kinds of services and info for business. That I know there's just lots of businesses out there that could be using your services and data in ways that they still have just missed the fact that you're there. So I'm going to ask you just briefly tell folks a little bit about what the Technical Assistance Center and what kinds of things a business person up here might want to find out more about you about. That's a sentence.
It works.
The Technical Assistance Center was involved in export assistance from the beginning. Right now we have an access to National Trade Data Bank, which has hundreds of thousands of files regarding different countries and different markets. So this is one of the definitely services that we can offer to local area businesses as well as the whole North Country. Another very interesting assistance that we provide, and it will be now part of World Trade Council activities, are the business seminars, which are directed towards educating about exporting, how to start in exporting, and how to expand in exporting, which are offered to local area businesses, and we've done several of those seminars. In addition, if a business or an individual who is interested in activities regarding international trade comes to us with a specific question, we definitely can provide research assistance and try to answer those specific questions. We keep track of statistics on exporting and importing, so anybody who is interested in this type of questions can also access our databases in person, coming to our office or asking us for a similar question. We maintain very interesting network of contacts internationally, so we can directly assist in finding distributors all over the world, as well as we are working with other agencies and organizations involved in international trade, and particularly in international trade promotion and assistance, such as Empire State Development and federal government, U.S. Department of Commerce, particularly their outlets in Buffalo, Buffalo Export Assistance Center. And we'll be very happy to connect specific cases, specific persons and companies who are interested in researching or obtaining information on specific markets or specific products and taking their products abroad together with those agencies.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also received some funding recently for some efforts in South America.
Yes, that's correct. We received over $160,000 to conduct the project Learning About the Americas. This project is funded by U.S. Department of Education, and there are several aspects of this project. One of the very important ones for export-import activities is creation of ABCIB, Argentina, Brazil, Chile Information Bank, which will be placed on the internet and will be accessible by virtually anybody in the world. This data bank is designed as a compilation of data and information on how to do business in these three countries, Argentina, Brazil, and Chile. In addition, we'll have also one module specifically on Mercosur, which encompass information on doing business in the southern cone of Southern America. We've done similar project in the past, Quebec-Mexico Information Bank, which was of course covering different countries. This project covers Canada and Mexico, and it turned out to be very successful. During the first year of operations, this data bank on the internet generated over 20,000 hits.
Very good. We expect to have some program activities with you on South America too in the future.
Yes.
That people can be, again, one of these things you can know. There's going to be some opportunities to take part in some programs yet unscheduled, but to learn more about opportunities in South America, it's another reason why you want to be on these lists, so you make sure you know about these things when they do get scheduled.
Exactly. The second part of that project, Learning About the Americas, is outreach activities that the university, together with partners such as Plattsburgh North Country Chamber of Commerce, will provide information to local businesses in the form of seminars and workshops how to do business in these 3 countries.
So we're looking forward to that. In fact, this is an example too. I think the World Trade Council, it's a service to business, but it also there are a lot of good services here in the North Country. I mean, the Chamber does things, the Technical Assistance Center does things, and the state has programs out there, and there are other. The Adirondack North Country Association has done a lot of things in this realm of export assistance. But what happens is with so many things we talk about here in the North Country, whether it's workforce development or whatever, lots of good folks out there doing lots of good things, but they're all doing it in separate places at separate times, and nothing quite kind of pulls it all together, both so they can all be more effective in the programs they're doing. You can also identify those things that maybe aren't being done, and I think that's I know the Chamber sees that as one of the things that can come out of this is that the players, those that have already been providing services, are also getting pulled together more effectively in the future, so we can work together and co-sponsor things and find those niches that aren't being filled by one of us.
Absolutely.
Becky, we've kind of in terms of folks who should be interested in the World Trade Council, I think we've kind of made a point that it's certainly companies out there or people that might be thinking of going into business and doing exporting. But what other sorts of folks here in the North Country might want to make sure they're part of this?
I think the facilitators who assist the businesses in exporting, freight forwarders, the brokers. There's always legal aspects of exporting, accounting issues for exporting, and banking issues for exporting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not limited only to just the manufacturers. I think everyone will obtain either an educational prosperity from joining the North Country World Trade Council, or a business prospers from the North Country World Trade Council due to the effectiveness of its networking capabilities.
Because we do have an extraordinary network of support services out there, don't we?
Yes, we do.
In part because of our Canadian connection, because we're near an international border. We have a particular, for a small area, we have a particularly high concentration of service providers, accountants, and attorneys, and customs brokers, and so on here, that you wouldn't find in most areas of this size that really are engaged in exporting in one sense or another, or have a particular interest in it. And bringing them into the fold is also important. So if any of you are service providers out there, and you're doing business with the clients or companies that are into exporting, it's an opportunity for you to know more, perhaps make connections that are good for your business, nothing wrong with that, we all believe in that too, but also learn how to be a better service provider. Because if you know more about something that's important to your clients and companies that you serve, then you can serve them better. So take advantage too, and also make sure you're on these lists, and again, give us a call. The number is flashing on the screen. It's 563-1000. We have 99 sets of those Jinsu knives left, so call in quickly.
Call now.
In the final few minutes, let me just ask each of you for some final thoughts, or maybe some hopes of what you hope this council will be in a couple of years as it develops. And I'll start with Joanne.
Actually, what I wanted to say was that we have we have to make a point of getting the message across that this is a membership organization, and that the rest of the agenda will be driven by the membership. So if you're sitting out there and you think, wow, gee, I really think an international trade council should be talking about or presenting this sort of a topic, well then get involved, and maybe that will happen, because it definitely is a membership organization, and we are just the first slate of people who hopefully will be guiding the organization, and the next slate has to come from our membership. So I encourage people to get involved.
I'd like to second Joanne in this thinking, that I think organization is as good as the members are, and as good as responsive to the needs of the members. So I think we'll try to listen to our members. We'll try to find out what the real needs are, and we'll try to be very responsive. And I think we are looking for input of those members. So whatever you think that this organization should do, we'll try to follow. We'll try to listen to your opinions, and we'll try to follow those opinions.
Peggy?
Yeah, I would certainly agree. The panel force that we have right now in place, one of our first meetings was, what do we need to represent for the members? What will be their interest? And we have our first few programs set up based on what we feel the North Country would assess as needs. But now the members are the driving force of the World Trade Council, and where it is to go, and how successful it is to be, and meet their needs.
Good point. You have the chance out there, if this is something that fits your interest at all, to help decide what it's going to look like in the future, rather than us sitting here deciding. We have some ideas of our own, but it'll be decided by you, and you have a chance, because it's new, rather than stepping into something that's been around for 10 years, maybe has already kind of taken on a form and a direction, to help decide what that direction is be. So if you get involved now, you can help set the course and make sure that it serves your needs, whatever those may be in your particular line of work. With that, I thank our guests for being with us, and as always, tune in regularly for future episodes of North Country Commerce. We'll continue to bring stories in the future on developments like the World Trade Council, new services that are available to you, or things that are happening in the North Country that we want you to know about. Thank you for watching.